weapons and mounts, as well as some of the different damage behaviors I've been working on for bad guys, good guys. So let me just show you a couple of the things we got going on here. So we got weapons, and they're going to come in different with different mechanics, different animations, different damage types. Here we have a very fashionable spear, and our character can use it, wander around and crouched. And then I threw in a handful of very, very scaredy cat zombies that upon seeing me will try to run away and find a hiding spot. So this is sort of the base logic I'm going to be implementing for some of our AI. But right now we're just going to start with some crappy enemy types like zombies. And there's a little spawner. But yeah, let me kill these guys who are, oh no. You do actually have to get quite close. There we go. Yeah, so it is still a work in progress. Got some of the blood splatters looking pretty good. The strafing is still being worked on. So that's going to be for arrows and things like that. But yeah, the spawner's pretty good. It seems to detect correctly when things are dead and respawn accordingly. We're going to have some different settings for turning things off and on, ensuring that you don't get overrun with various enemy types. What else do we have going on here? Well, the enemies themselves are randomly generated. If you notice, they're going to come in different colors. They're going to have some different properties, like that guy's missing a leg, that guy's missing an arm. And I'm going to try to have them behave accordingly to that. There's some that are going to be missing a head, so they won't be able to see, but they'll still have some other senses that can get you going. But yeah, so that's the spear and our little zombie spawner. On to the next weapon. So our next weapon is just a big sword, or a great sword, similar to our spear. You can pick it up. It's going to have sort of different properties. I'm currently trying to adjust the movement speeds and the attack speeds of all the weapons to give them a little bit more oomph. But let's go try the sword. So again, not too bad. Obviously, different enemy types, we're going to have different damage types, so they won't go down as easy. But right now, it's just testing. Make sure all of our stuff kind of works in place. And again, trying to get the strafing working for more of a first-person look. But the actual movement is going to be based on non-strafing. So kind of point wherever your D-pad goes and use the arrow keys to kind of turn around, have the camera face in different directions. Typical third-person shooter stuff. All right, on to the next weapon. Okay, so our last weapon type is a giant warhammer. And I got tired of using these little tiny weapons, so we went ahead and played with some of the scale, and now we have giant weapons that our boss types are going to drop, and some of the larger characters in the game. But similar to our other weapons, it's going to have a nice strafe mode for sort of a aim look, rather. And then we're still going to be adjusting the various mechanics for the weapons to ensure that they don't have our characters flying or do anything weird. And there's two zombies in one shot. They went somewhere. Oh, there they are. Or at least one of them. But yeah, so that's the Great Hammer. Now let's take a look at a couple of mounts. So with Bad Guys, Good Guys being a fantasy game, one of the things I wanted was the ability to have mounts, but I didn't just want sort of the stereotypical mounts, which is a horse, so I started experimenting with some other animals. In this case, we have a boar. So your character can now nicely mount the boar and go for a little ride. I'm going to be adjusting the speeds so you get a little bit of a trot going, as well as a proper gallop. Certain mounts will have different useful properties, like the boar will be able to find various magical truffles and things like that. So it'll have a digging mechanic, but they do also come with their own fighting mechanics. So as you can see, here's the boar trying to attack, Doing weird little freak out moves. So let's go take out some of these zombies. Okay, so that didn't work that well, but I do assure you they do go down. There we go. So it does take a couple of hits with the boar. He's just a little guy. And we still have a long ways to go to make him workable, but it is kind of fun riding something other than a horse or your stereotypical, car or whatever the mounts are in your classic old games. Now, with the mounts, we also have the ability to grab a weapon. Because I thought, hey, wouldn't it be silly not to be able to use our weapons while we ride our cool mounts? So here's a little bit of action on a boar with our warhammer. So the fighting of the boar is independent of the hammer swings. So there'll be opportunities for some polo and various things like that. Oh no, I missed him. There we go. So yeah, you'll be able to come across your enemies in a couple different ways. Smoke them with your mount, and then take them down with the actual weapon in hand. So I really like the boar. He's going to get a lot of love before we're done here. But yeah, these are the beginnings of our mounting system. Yeah, I could just go for a regular stroll. So yeah, so that's the boar. Let's take a look at a couple of our other mounts. Now for our second mount type, I'm going to just grab this weapon here. And again, try not to go with sort of stereotypical mounts. We decided to rig up bear. And let's not ignore his giant tushy. But the bear, similar to our other mounts, is going to have special abilities. We haven't implemented the ones for this guy yet, but they're coming soon. As well as independent attacks. So obviously with a bear, you still need to get pretty close. And the hit detection is still a work in progress, so it's not always going to be perfect. But, we can now smack some zombies down. We can take out our sword, try to come in for a swing, but since we are sitting a little bit higher up, it's going to depend on the height of your mount as well as the type of weapons you're using. But that's okay. We can always smack it with our bear claws. Good bear. Okay, and on to our last mount. Now for our last mount, again going in the sort of untypical kind of way, I decided to go ahead and create a bee. Similar to our other mounts, they're going to have special behaviors and maneuvers and options and all that stuff, but the bee's kind of fun because not only does it allow you to have sort of ground movement, we can actually take it to the skies. So you'll be able to move in on your enemies from the sky and smash them up. If I can just get them to hit. There we go. And then ride off into the sunset. And your fancy schmancy bee. The other thing that the bee comes with is some nighttime mode. So in order to do that, here, let's take a look at our sun. Let's make it go down a little bit. That's taking too long. Let's just go direct to night mode. So there's night mode. As you can see, things like the braziers will light up. But more importantly, the bee now comes with a set of headlights. And that way you'll be able to navigate some dark areas with this particular mount type, both from the ground as well as from the sky. Let's scoop in on some of these zombies and smash them up. Oh, that doesn't work very well. Oh no. The hit collision is actually pretty accurate, so you do have to get the point of the spear directly on the character. But yeah, there we go. There's some bees. Now, the last thing I want to show you guys is some of the things that are going to happen when the player actually gets hit by a bee. So here is a head explosion that may or may not occur if you get poisoned. So character's still alive. He can still walk around. He's headless. That's going to be one of the mechanics. Let me show you the other one. Okay, and the last little damage type that I started working on is when our character gets hit by various enemy types, he may have the opportunity of losing different limbs. So here it is without any legs. So our legs go flying, and our character still has the ability to curl around the floor to try to get to things. Oh, and oh no, that's gone. The limbs themselves will become equipable as weapons. So you can collect your foot and then try to smash someone with it before they get you. So yeah, that's some of the nonsense that I've been up to over here at Jolly Monster Studio. Thank you guys for checking in with me after a long hiatus of not making videos, and I look forward to providing you with more tutorials and updates on our games. See you soon.